Gonna let everybody filter in. How's everybody doing? It's super, super hot. It's so hot here. It's like 28 degrees. I'm like, do I have to wear clothes for a Zoom? Really, really? My goodness me. I'm just going to give us a couple of minutes to let everybody come in, and then we will get started. Thank you for all coming on a sunny evening. I'm assuming it's sunny, but you could be anywhere. Oh, look at that. Nice one, Nikki. Nikki's got the fizz on the go. Good plan, good plan. All right, now what I'm going to do as I'm letting everybody in is see if I can make the tech work. I'm not tremendous at tech. So let's see. Whoa! She did it. All right. Okay. Do you know what? I'm going to kick off because I can't deal with it. Oh no. Sorry. I'm multitasking of trying to let people in and manage tech and talk at the same time. Tricky, tricky.
Make me co-host, and then maybe I could let them in.
That would be great. I would do that. Thank you, Nikki.
I'll try anyway.
There you go. Well, it's just letting people in. I'm like, I can't. You will come to see those of you that haven't met me before. I am very good at going off on tangents as it is. And so when trying to focus on multiple things at the same time is tricky. So to that end, please feel free to use the chat as you like as we go through this evening. I will not be able to keep an eye on it as we're going through. So what I will do is at the end of the session, I've left plenty of time for us to be able to unmute, ask questions, have a two-way conversation about anything that didn't make sense, any things I haven't covered, or other questions you've got. So there'll be plenty of time for that. So please do make a note for yourself so that you can remember it at the end. And we'll have plenty of opportunity to come back and have a two-way conversation about it. But I'm very aware that I am likely, as it is, to go off on different tangents anyway. And if I try and follow the chat, then it's all going to go to poop, quite frankly. All right, so we are talking today about how to use your affiliate links to your advantage. Some of you are already affiliate partners, some of you are not, as I understand it, and are just kind of curious about how it works and whether it might be for you or not. So hopefully we'll answer all of those questions today. Before we start, I thought I should probably introduce myself. I've done quite a few live sessions over the last 6 months, and I suddenly realized recently that the nerves get the better of me. And so I jumped straight into the presentation. And at the end, I'm like, oh, there were people who were completely new to you there, and they know absolutely naff all about who you are. So I'm Ricky. I'm a dog copywriter specifically and a marketer. I work exclusively with dog businesses. Mainly dog trainers, some dog brands, and some other dog businesses, but mainly dog trainers. I used to be a dog walker and a daycare provider, so I've kind of worked face to face with dogs. So I'm not just somebody who's like, oh, I love dogs and I want to write all about dogs. I actually am a bit of a geek about dog behavior and dog training and all that kind of stuff as well. So that's kind of my specialist topic along with my marketing obsession. That said, I'm a massive believer that marketing is just communication. So many of us don't much like the idea of marketing because it feels like it's got a bit of a bad rep and it feels like a horrible, selly, pushy, coercive thing to do. And I'm not about any of that. So wherever possible, I try and think of it in terms of communication and how we can understand the people that we want to work with and the people that we want to help. And how we can communicate effectively with them so that we can build relationships and help them with the things that they need help with, rather than buy my thing. If you don't buy my thing, bad things are going to happen. Like I'm not about going that route at all. I think if we're naturally generous and show up and communicate well, then people will buy the things that are the right fit for them. We don't need to trick them or manipulate them into it. I am also completely obsessed with SEO, which is search engine optimization, and that's about getting found on Google. Part of my obsession with that is that I like things that get results that you can do once and then forget about, because we've all got too much to do as it is. So my goal with today, as well as everything else that I do, is to make things actionable, easy to understand, and to kind of break them down so that they make sense and don't feel like a big beast of a thing that you have to do on top of all the other things that you're trying to do as somebody running your own business. All right, so what to expect today. I don't think you can see this. My Zoom faces are all in the wrong places. I don't think you can see them as I'm moving them around, but it's distracting me. So just so you know what to expect, I'm going to try and pack quite a lot in because I prefer to over-deliver than under-deliver, but I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So I want there to be things that you can take away that are actionable. But the intention is not that you have to do it all, or that you're supposed to think that you need to do it all, or that, you know, if you're not doing it all, then that means that you're rubbish or not doing a good enough job or less than. It's not about any of that. So we're going to talk about whether you can really make money from affiliate marketing. Is it even worth bothering? What does that look like? Why who you partner with matters. And I think that's actually a really important one. We're going to cover a little bit about how affiliate marketing works. So a lot of you are already doing affiliate marketing, so you'll probably have a bit of a gist of it. But I just want to make sure that we cover it off and understand it. So it's those that are new to it or those that watch the replay down the line actually have a grasp of the basics. And then we're going to spend some time on the one thing that I think doesn't really get talked about, but it's actually the thing that will make the biggest difference. Then I'm going to give you a formula to hopefully make that easy to put into action, rather than just going away and being like, that was great, I still don't know how to do it. And then we'll finally move into like, okay, where do I put the links? So the bulk of this session is not actually about where you put links. We're going to cover ideas for where you put links, but I think there's actually a bigger thing at play that can make it hard for people to actually say yes to buying things from your affiliate links in the first place. And then, as I say, we'll finish with a Q&A so that you make sure that everything I've shared with you makes sense and you're not left with questions or anything doesn't feel like actionable to you by the end of it. So can you actually make money from affiliate marketing? The answer is yes. Some people make their entire living from affiliate marketing, but those people's main job is to be a content creator. So there are people that, you know, their main source of income, and they make an awful lot of income from it, is creating content that includes affiliate links. So that would be stuff like blogs, vlogs, and now these days TikToks as well, right? These people are making all of their income from being essentially content creators that promote other people's products. That doesn't mean that if you don't want to be a prolific content creator, you can't make any money from affiliate links. It means that you'll probably make less money. So it's really in terms of how much you put in and whether this is something you want to be kind of residual extra income to your main bread and butter money, something that can, you know, cover the shortfall when the natural peaks and troughs of self-employed life happen or recession happens and it all goes a bit scary. If you want to use it like that, then you can, you know, use your affiliate links without being a full-time content creator. And that's really kind of what I'm focusing on today. What are the manageable ways that you can use affiliate marketing whilst also running your business and wearing all of the myriad of hats that you're probably wearing, unless you've got an enormous team behind you. Before we jump into that, I want to talk about the being time poor thing, because I really don't want anybody to walk away feeling like you have to do everything. In any of the marketing stuff that I teach, my intention is to share ideas and how to do things and why they work, so that then afterwards you can cherry pick the things that are right for you. Yeah, so it's about, as we run through this session, and if you take any of my other trainings, oh, does that sound interesting to me? Oh, is that something that I'm like interested in trying? Or does that sound like really hard work and something that I'd really rather not do? Leave those ones alone, drop them. We don't need to be doing uphill battles. There's lots of different ways that you can market. There's not one correct way of doing things. And if you lean into the things that are more enjoyable for you, or at least easier for you, you'll do them more consistently and it won't feel so hard work. And you might even start to like doing it when it feels easy and fun. So yeah, just keep that in mind as we walk through everything today. It's supposed to be inspiration. It's not a to-do list that makes you feel more overwhelmed than you might already do. I've just realized that I haven't shared the workbook in the comments. So there is a workbook that goes along with this presentation. Within it are prompts, reminders of the things that we're talking about. So don't worry about trying to hold everything in your head. I'm going to share the slides with you afterwards. I've intentionally put a lot of copy on the slides so that you can refer back to them without having to watch a whole hour and a half session, depending how long we go. And the workbook does the same and gives you specific prompts for the actions that you can take. And you can either do those, you can open that in a, you know, alongside, you can do it in a notepad, or you can save it and come back to it later, whatever works for you. Or you can discard it entirely. I know that I go to so many of these things and I'm like, soak it all in, and then I do absolutely nothing with it. So I thought, you know what, I'll put a workbook together, and then you've got something tangible to take away and help you put it into action. All right, let's begin. So the first thing that I want to talk about is choosing who you partner with, because I think this can make a big difference. And typically, I think for most of us, when we first start doing any kind of affiliate marketing, it happens because there's a brand that we love or a product that we love and we're already recommending it. And then they have an affiliate program. We're like, oh, brilliant, I can make a little bit of extra. I'm referring them anyway. And typically that's much easier because it's a brand or a product that you're very comfortable talking about anyway. And when we go back to like, well, what is marketing? It's communication, right? It's talking about stuff and talking about people's problems and how products and services and things can help them. So therefore, if we're choosing brands and products that we love already, that takes away one of the barriers that we might have to marketing. I think it's important to consider whether the products that you're recommending are a good fit for your audience. So the people that you help with whatever service, product, whatever it is that you do, are these products that you are partnering with, are they relevant to your audience? Because it's going to be much easier for you to talk about them and recommend them if they naturally tie in with the experiences of the people that are already in your audience. Because if not, what you're then having to do is like attract a new audience that these products are appropriate for, right? And that, to me, that's not a good sense of time. Your main business, assuming you're not here trying to be a full-time affiliate marketer, is the main thing that you're going to be marketing. So if you can choose products or services, affiliate programs that complement what you're doing already, you're not making life harder for yourself. Actually, you're bringing in something that is useful for your audience, that makes sense for your audience, and that makes sense for you to talk about. Ergo, it's not so difficult for you to try and squeeze in and find an angle into it. Finally, I've done these in the wrong order, haven't I? I think it's important to think about whether your ethics or values match. So when you apply for affiliate programs, often there will be questions of you that the brand wants to make sure that you're a good match for them. And I think it's important to kind of have a check for yourself in the other direction, because ultimately when you're partnering with a brand or another business, it's like a public recommendation of each other. It's a public endorsement of each other. So it's good to make sure that you are aligned. Have I missed anything there? No. All right, so let's run through a basic rundown of how affiliate marketing works. Essentially, you're recommending a product, a brand, a service, and you're paid a commission or maybe given rewards in exchange for your referrals. I'll probably use those words interchangeable in terms of rewards and commission. It varies by the brand that you partner with or brands that you partner with. Some will give you store credit, some will give you cash, money in your bank, and some will give you discounts or whatever. So they'll work differently, but generally you're getting something in return for the referrals that you're making to that brand. How they operate can differ. Typically, you're given either a discount code to give to your people, and so anybody that buys the thing using that discount code is tracked back to you as an affiliate, and that's how they track your commission or your rewards. Or you're given like a unique URL, so like your www.domain.com/something, and that whenever somebody clicks that link, that's tracked back to you as the referring point. Understanding how each of the programs that you sign up for, particularly if you start acquiring lots of different affiliates, understanding how they each work independently and noting it down somewhere is quite important, because in order, if you're spending time doing this marketing, you want to make sure that you're being credited for it. So at the beginning of your workbook, there's a short section for you to just kind of write down, who am I partnering with? Am I using discount code or a URL or both? And finally, what's their cookie tracking policy? So typically, when you refer somebody using one of these, so somebody clicks on your unique URL, there is a cookie tracking period, which means, assuming the person clicking that link has cookies enabled, that company is able to track whether they come back later date. So some will have like a 30-day window, some will have a 60-day window. Some affiliate programs will track it for an entire year. And it's important to know this because people don't necessarily buy something the first time that they see it, right? So you might share something about a product and share your link with somebody, and they might click on it and go and read about it. And that was their first kind of introduction to that brand or that product, that solution to their problem. And then they go away again. And then later down the line, they might get targeted by an ad from that brand even, right? And they click that ad and they buy the thing because they're like, oh yeah, Nikki recommended that thing. That's really, she said it was really, really good. I remember reading that thing about it and I didn't. So they're like further down the line now. If they buy off the back of that ad and you're still within that cookie tracking period, that should still get credited back to you because you were the first referral. And so therefore, if you're regularly directing people to those links, you're giving yourself more chances of racking up that commission, even if it's, you know, once a month, I'm going to share a blog on that brand's website using my unique URL, not their public one. So you have to get into the mindset. Most affiliate programs will have like your own portal that you log into. You can take a page, any page from their website, put the URL in there, and they'll give you your unique one. So you can share their content and still get credited for those referrals. Yeah, so really the more frequently we can get the audience to visit the brand site, learn about the product, soak up the educational content, the greater our chances are of earning commission. And if we're sharing their content, guess what? It's also content that you didn't have to think about creating or create yourself, right? It's there, they're creating it, use it. All right, so the bulk of what we're talking about today is actually how do you talk about these products so that people see the benefit? And you might have thought, oh, I'm going to come to this session and she's going to tell me the magic places to put the links where they'll suddenly turn into money. And like where you put your links is important, but actually how we communicate about those products and those brands and why we're recommending them and who they're for is actually way, way more important. Because if we're not promoting them, if we're not marketing them in the same way that we market anything else, it's going to be an uphill battle. And I think typically when we join an affiliate marketing program, 3 things can happen. So 1, we join, we're really excited about it, we promote it a little bit, and then we lose momentum and completely forget about it because life is busy and we go off and do other things and we do nothing else with it. 2, we promote it and we don't see any results because we haven't been specific enough and people haven't really seen the benefit of it. Or 3, we've been really uncomfortable about selling, and so we've not shared stuff because we feel a bit guilty about it, like, oh, I'm making money off of sharing somebody else's thing and I shouldn't be, and I feel very uncomfortable about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. So actually, when we start to lean into like, how does this help people? What people does it help? Why am I recommending it in the first place? This leads back to if you chose brands and products that you loved anyway, it's because you wanted to recommend them and you were recommending them whether you got money or not, right? The kickback is a benefit that has generally none of the customers are not being penalized for that kickback. They don't mind you getting 15%, 10%, 20%, but whatever it is. We're going to be much more successful if we actually start thinking about marketing these products in the same way as we would market anything else. And so, you know, you thought you were coming here to learn about affiliate marketing. Actually, what I'm going to share with you now is going to affect all of your marketing. This is the crux of any communication with people about how we can help them. So we need to understand 2 things. We need an audience and we need to understand who they are and what they either need help with or what their desires are. So, you know, a lot in marketing, we'll talk about pain points. Sometimes it's a desire for something that makes people, you know, seek to buy something or pay for a service or whatever it is. so what is like my question that helps us dig into like the specifics of who are we talking to actually when we're writing this social media post or we're recommending this thing? Specifically, who is it for? What problem are they experiencing? And what outcome does the thing deliver? And the more specific we can be, sorry, my eyes are like watering from the heat. The more specific we can be about those three things, the clearer it is for people to be able to see whether they need it or not. So often when you hear people talk about like, oh, we need to understand their pain points, it can sound really exploitative and like we want to use those pain points to, you know, make them panic and feel bad and push them into buying the thing. And yes, some people do that. We can also use this information to understand people better and to help them self-select whether something is for them or not. If we're really woolly and generic, it's really hard for people to understand, well, is this targeted at me? Is this going to help me and the problems that I've got? Or is it for somebody else? It's too generic, it's too woolly. We're mostly very distractible, very busy, too cognitively overloaded. We're not going to go digging, we're going to go away. So the more specific we can be, the more we actually give people agency to make decisions for themselves. We're giving them the information. Who is it for? What problems does it help with? What are the likely, you know, realistic outcomes that you'll get if you choose to buy this thing? And then they decide whether that's for them or not. And like I say, you might be thinking, this all feels like a lot of overkill, Ricky, for selling somebody else's thing. Like surely this is already a big brand. Everybody, you know, partnered with this brand. Everybody already knows who it is. They're already doing their marketing. I'm giving them a discount code. Do I really? I just thought I was going to be able to put a link in a special place, and that would. No, like it is really important. So I am going to move on to showing you where we're going to give you ideas for different places that you can promote your partnerships and use your affiliate links and your codes, but I'd be doing you a disservice if we don't spend a little bit more time here so that me talking about this isn't just me talking about it, but it's actually actionable. So to that end, I'm going to share some examples. But before I do that, I want to talk to you about a copywriting formula that you can use to help you with this. Because particularly if you're not a marketer, if you're somebody who's working with dogs or running, you know, a business that you really didn't anticipate was going to require you to write so much bloody content, sitting in front of a blank page trying to write a social media post or an email or whatever can feel quite difficult. And so formulas can help. And so I often use the pain, agitate, solution, outcome formula. Because it covers those things that we've just spoken about. So it makes us think about specifically who am I talking to and what are they struggling with? What do they need help with? Agitate, I didn't name the formula. I wouldn't have called it agitate, it's horrible. What we really want to do is dig into like the so what of that problem. Like, what does it really look like? What does it feel like on a daily basis? I'm going to give actual examples of this to help make sense, but I wanted to introduce the formula first. Then we introduce the solution, or the fact that there is a solution to the thing they're struggling with. And then we explore the outcome. So what does life look like once the problem's solved, or, you know, sometimes not solved, reduced, improved, whatever a realistic outcome is for the thing that you're addressing. So being more specific is really going to help with this. So I'm going to give an example of Pet Remedy, and I'm going to give an example of Tug Enough. So that you've got two different kinds of products. This will apply to all of I know you partner with lots and lots of different kinds of brands that offer different kinds of products, from treats to accessories to muzzles to harnesses to, you know, all the different bits and bobs that can help the people that we want to help. So I've tried just pick two to try and give some specific examples to make it make sense. All right, so Pet Remedy make or sell calming products for a wide range of animals, right? Horses, rabbits, guinea pigs, dogs, cats. They can be used for lots of different animals, and they can help with a whole range of different problems. And so we could just promote them as calming products, right? We could write our little monthly post to promote our affiliate every month and say, oh, Pet Remedy, they do great calming products, and here's my discount code and here's the link. Or we could get more specific and say, okay, what kind of people do these products, or what kind of problems do these products actually solve? And again, in your workbook, you've got a section to look at your, whoever it is that you're partnering with. Keep in mind your audience and the people that you help, and find the crossovers, find the things that are relevant to your people. They won't all necessarily be. But for Pet Remedy, for example, we could be talking about animals that struggle with car travel, separation anxiety, vet visits, grooming, settling in, reactivity, grieving pets, recovering from surgery or illness. I'm worried the dog's going to do themselves an injury while they're on crate rest. How do I contact? Yeah, we can get a lot more specific. We can also tie some of these things into seasonal times of year. So, all right, we're going to promote around fireworks time. I'm going to promote that in a noise sensitivity way. Around Christmas time, I'm going to talk about the commotion of having people visiting. Oh, in, I don't know, March, it's Dogs in Yellow Day. I'm going to talk about anxious dogs. And so I'm going to frame my affiliate promotions around that topic. These products can typically help with lots of different problems. And if we can kind of follow a rule of one, so if we're creating a social media post or an email post or whatever it is, however you do your marketing, and we focus in on one person, one problem, one solution, we're not confusing people and giving them cognitive overwhelm. We're giving much more valuable information and communication about actually what the real benefits of this product is. It's going to land a lot more strongly. So let's look at that in action. Here's a woolly, and if you read this and think, oh, that's the kind of post I write, that it's not a bad post. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm a proud partner of Pet Remedy, an awesome company who make calming products for dogs, cats, and other animals. Grab 25% off using my special code. Here's my code. Hit the link below and check out. It's not bad, right? We've got social proof. People that trust you will be like, okay, well, I'd like to calm my animal down. I trust Joe. Joe says this is great, and I've got a discount. Great. But it could be so much stronger. The other issue that I would highlight with this is if we're sending them directly to a generic URL, not only have we not given them specific information, they now land on a website full of products and they have to make decisions that they're not informed enough to make. So they're looking at a whole array of products. What's likely to happen? I'm overwhelmed. I don't know which one I should buy. I'll come back to this later. In turn, they haven't bought the thing using your code, you haven't made any money, and you haven't helped them find a solution to the problem that they were looking for help with. What happens when we get more specific? So just run with the car example. Does your dog hate the car? There's your pain point. If your dog pants, whines, showing signs of stress during car travel, you might be at the end of your tether. All you want to do is take them somewhere nice. But the idea of even trying to get them in the car fills you with dread, agitate. So when I talk about like, what does that feel like? That's like if you've got a dog who hates going in the car, they love it when they get to the place, but the stress of trying to get them in the car and the journey there, like you're dreading the adventure that you want to have with your dog before you've even got there because of the stress. So the agitate is not to make them feel crap, but it's to help them self-identify. Is that me? Yes, that feels really familiar. No, it's not me. Scroll on by. This post is not for you. Yeah, so that's that self-identify, self-selection. All right, next bit. There's lots we can do to help your dog feel more at ease, and here's one that takes minimal effort for you. There's a solution. Pet Remedy's clever little travel kit. Deliver the calming spray plus handy wipes that deliver a natural herbal blend, which clinically proven to help dogs relax. Here's the solution. Simply spritz the car or your dog's bed before your outings. Keep the wipes on hand, blah, blah, blah. And it's a super simple step to alleviating your dog's travel woes. If you use my discount code, you can grab 15% off today. Points for what did I miss in this post? The discount code. This would be a bad post if it didn't have the discount code. Put the code in. Hit the link below to grab yours now and help your dog to feel calmer in the car so you can have happy adventures together. That last bit is the outcome. That's what they want, right? And it might be that you do a series of posts and you want to share other things that they might, that product alone might not solve the issue. So you could do a series of things. You could write a blog about car travel and cover all of the different points and include your link in there, right? And then I've put a link to the specific product that I would recommend for this problem. So now that person reads this and says, my dog either does or doesn't hate the car. so they can self-select immediately whether you're talking to them or not. They understand what the offer is, they understand they've got a discount code, and they've gone straight to the page that has the product that you're promoting. Much, for the right person, much more likely to click buy than somebody who saw the woolly post. All right, what about tug enough? You might think, oh, well, they're just toys, that they're fun things, they don't solve problems. Actually, like, likelihood is, if we can dig a little bit, they solve lots of problems. And this will be the case for other brands and other things that you want to promote as well. So what kind of things could they help? They could solve boredom, mental, physical stimulation. It can be used for puppy biting, recall, overcoming distractions, over arousal, enrichment, reactivity, relationship building, growing confidence, the list goes on. If you use the products that you're recommending, think about how do you use them in your work, how do you use them with your clients, and use that to inform your personal brainstorming on these. I would recommend, if you can, spending a little bit of time with the workbook and doing this for the brands that you want to promote, so that you can come up with a list like this that's specific to you and your business and your audience. Oh, why did I try and say specificity? I can never say that word. Is important. It will make a big difference. I'm sharing these to give you ideas. They might not necessarily be relevant specifically to your audience. So spend some time on that. All right, here's our woolly posts. Are you looking for a toy your dog will go bonkers for? Tug enough toys are my absolute faves. They're made to last and they come in a range of fun colours. Treat your pup to a new toy today. Grab 15% off. Hit the link below and use the code at checkout. Same thing, right? There's nothing wrong with it. It's not bad social media posts. It's got social proof. People that really trust you and like the look of the products will buy, but you're going to have a lot more success if we get more specific. So I've chosen puppy biting because it was the easiest one. Ouch, sharp puppy teeth are not fun. Pain point. You knew there'd be some puppy biting, but nobody told you it'd be this blinking painful. When your adorable puppy gets the zoomies inside your hands and feet at the target, it can feel like the biting phase will never end. Agitate, that's what their daily life looks like, right? Introducing Tug Enough Chaser Toys. There is a solution. They're a godsend for puppies as they've got an extra long bungee handle, which means you can burn off your pup's energy while keeping their sharp puppy teeth far away from your hands. Plus, they've got a super soft bite area, which is so satisfying for sore puppy teeth. Next time your pup gets the zoomies and needs something to sink their teeth into, reach for this and you'll instantly feel relieved that I told you about this game changer of a toy. Hit the link below and grab your 15% off today. And then I've chosen a specific toy. You could choose like a collection. So for this brand, for example, they've got a page on their website that's all their chaser toys. So you could have chosen that. But I've chosen a specific range of toys rather than if we just say like all of their toys are a great way to redirect puppy biting. We're back in that overwhelmed stage of like, okay, I land on the website. I'm looking at all the puppy toys. I don't know which one to buy. Like people need help. Like they've got, particularly when we're in the depths of problems, they're looking to you as somebody like you're helping them with, you understand their problems better than they do. And they would really appreciate if we can like simplify it and make it easy for them to take action and find the things that are going to help them. Right, that was the end of that section. I'm going to drink some water before we move on to free places where we're going to put links. This was the bit you probably thought we were going to start with. Okay. So the first three places that I would recommend that you put your affiliate links, and if you do nothing else, at least do these, is to put them onto your social media platforms, into your bios. Less important on Facebook, so it depends what platforms you're using, right? So on Facebook, if you share a social media post, you can put your affiliate link or the link to whatever it is that you want to link to in the caption, and it's clickable, and that's fine. If you're using Instagram, those links and captions and comments are not clickable, and people are not, the vast majority of people at least, are not going to go to the effort of trying to copy and paste that link over to another browser to go and find it. If you're very lucky, they'd go and Google the brands to find the thing that you recommended. They're probably unlikely to do that. But if they did do that, they didn't use your referral. So you're not going to get credited with it. So the way to overcome that is to set up something like a link tree, which is a free kind of landing page where you can put all of your links in one place. And then you can have your link in your bio, as it's called on Instagram, opens a page of its own where you can have all your links. Because most of you are going to be doing this in addition to marketing your own businesses. So we don't want to take up that bio space, that link opportunity, and remove your website to put another brand's website, right? So we're going to use something like Linktree. There are other brands, things, what are they called, softwares that offer the same thing, so that you can curate a list of links that include your affiliate links, as well as your own stuff that you want to be able to talk about on Instagram, and then say to people, rather than putting the link in the caption, you're going to say, link in my bio, and then they can go and find the relevant link. Just a note on that, if you are using Instagram, you can share links in stories. So if you share the post to stories, you can use a little thing and add a clickable link. But just remember, I see so many posts on Instagram and I'm like, oh no, nobody can click that link, where people are putting the links in the captions and the comments. So just be aware of that. It's fine on Facebook, it's not on Instagram. I know nothing about TikTok, so I can't help you with that, I'm afraid. Next simple place to put it is your email signature. So if there's a specific, you probably don't want a list of like 15 different affiliate links in your email signature, but if there's a particular product or brand that really resonates with your audience and is really helpful for the bulk of the people that you're working with, then why not put like a simple line at the bottom, including your affiliate link? And then you can set it and forget it. And like I said at the beginning, I'm all about finding as many ways as possible to do things once and let them just continue working for you while you're juggling all of the other things. And thirdly, you can put it on your website. So that might look like putting, most affiliate programs will give you like a badge or a banner or whatever that you could put on your homepage. Make sure you link that up with your, don't just put it, make sure you link it with the affiliate link that goes over. If you've got a discount code, you might want to put some copy underneath to explain that. Or you could create a, Sue recommends page, and you can have, that will give you the option to put a little bit more information about the brands and what, and then put your link over, and you can put your discount code and all the rest of it. And then people that are landing your website can find it. Also, people that you speak to in real life, you can say, oh, go and check out my page. I've got that link that I told you about. So if you do nothing else, do those, and it will be better than doing nothing. And now we're going to move on to the extra things that you could do. And I wanted to share ways that you can share these if you don't have a website, because actually not everybody who runs a dog business has a website. And even if you do, you can still do these things. But I wanted to make sure that this was actionable for people who don't have websites, because I think when we talk about marketing, you guys get left out quite a lot, and that's not very fair. Like you're still talking to people, you're still marketing your businesses, you just don't yet have a website. I also think that we don't necessarily, we can get so bogged down in the digital side of things that actually we forget about like in-person, real relationship stuff. And actually the people that you build relationships with in person, if you work with people in person, are much warmer and much more likely to say yes to stuff. So if you're a trainer and you're running classes or in-person sessions, whether they're one-to-one or group, you can promote these products that you're recommending there. Depending on the products, you might want to bring some to demo or to talk about, or to give you a natural in. If you're using the toys in your class, then actually that's a much easier way for you to talk about it, or people will actually ask you, what is that? Or if you put some calming spray down, or you're using specific pate or whatever it is that you want to recommend, just by having it present, people will ask you what it is, or my dog really loves that. Oh, actually, you can buy it here and I've got a discount code. Here's I'll send you the link. And to that end, it's further down the list. Don't be afraid to follow up later. If you communicate with your clients over WhatsApp or email or whatever, like again, we think about communicating with people for like a global, like talking to them all in a big group. It's helpful for you to follow up later after that conversation at a one-to-one or a class and say, oh, here's the link for that toy, or this is the specific toy, or this is the specific treat that so-and-so had. Here's the link, and don't forget my discount code. That's not being pushy or salesy. That's helping them. We've all got too many bloody things in our head. We get home from class, we've forgotten all about it. They're likely to appreciate the reminder, and if they don't, they just won't do anything with it. You're not being pushy or salesy, as long as you're not like, you must buy this thing. your training's not going to work unless you use this turkey pate. It's the only thing it'll ever work for. Like, that's pushy and horrible, right? But actually, just here's the link to that thing that I think would really help you is not. Same if you're going to events, whether that's, I don't know, like over the summer, we often have quite a lot of dog events. Take some QR codes or get some leaflets made. You can make them yourself on Canva. You can put QR codes on, put your unique link on it so that when you recommend it at classes, if you don't want to follow up with a link, you can give it. Maybe you have, graduation goodie bags or whatever at the end of your classes. You can put the leaflets in, or you could have at the start before classes, you might send emails out to people when they sign up and actually, here are the things that you need before we start classes. I recommend these leads, these harnesses, these treats, whatever, and you put the links in there and you send those emails out to every person that signs up for classes or for one-to-ones or whatever it is. Those things are then happening on autopilot. And then, of course, social media posts, which we've spoken about, we can speak about a little bit more. And email newsletters. So if you email your list, or you have a list and you don't email them and you want to start emailing them, think about whether sometimes you might want to do a focus on a particular problem, and maybe those products are something that you would include within that. So, again, at fireworks or preparing for fireworks, you might talk about certain things, or different times of year, it's tick season and now I'm going to recommend this natural product that I recommend, or whatever it is. There's so many different affiliate programs. I can't come like in the mindset of calming sprays and toys, but expand it to the different brands and products that you might have in your list. And then I want to talk about evergreen ways, because so when I say evergreen, these are things that you do once and they work beyond the time that you do them. And I think I've made it quite clear, I'm very passionate about doing these things because we're all so busy. We do stuff on social media, it disappears into a scroll. Next week, we've got to start all over again. We've got to do it all again, and on it goes, and infinity and beyond. These things are things that you can do once that will, basically be promoting your affiliate links for years. As long as these things exist, the affiliate program will be being promoted for you on autopilot. So that could be creating your own blogs. So again, you'd go back to those pain points. What are the people that I work with? Maybe I help puppies, so I'm going to create things around problems that people with puppies have, or questions that they have. And where relevant, I'm going to put the links into my affiliate programs within there. You can then share that blog on social media. So people that click it from your social media will go to the blog. It's one of your social media pieces of content, and they're getting showed that affiliate code again. You can share it with your email list. So it's one piece of content that you can repurpose. If you've learned how to write blogs for SEO, for search engine optimization, then you can actually get them bringing in organic traffic so that people are landing on that blog way beyond you actually doing anything with it. And that, this is essentially those people that make their full-time living from affiliate marketing. This is essentially what they're doing, right? They're content creation machines, and they're creating content around things that they know people are searching for, and putting relevant product links within there, and that's how they're making their money. So email sequences, I've just touched on. Email sequences, different to email newsletters or campaigns, they're automated emails that you set up. So they'll be triggered by something. Somebody joins your email list. That might be that they sign up for classes, or that might be that they sign up for your newsletter, and then they get a series of emails that comes afterwards. And that happens whether someone signs up now or in 6 months' time. It happens on autopilot. Within those email sequences, it might be relevant for you to recommend some of your products, depending on who your audience is. So again, you're going to need to get specific and think a little bit more about whether it's relevant for your people or not. Or it might be that you include some of your blogs. If you've decided to write blogs that are relevant to your audience, that have got those affiliate links in them, maybe you'd include those in your welcome sequences. And that's how you'd get people over to those affiliate links. The point is that you're going to do that upfront work once, and then as long as people are finding it, it's going to keep promoting that link for you. YouTube content. So if you're somebody who's doesn't like writing blogs, doesn't like writing emails, but you quite like making videos, make sure you're repurposing those videos and So if you're making reels for Instagram or Facebook or TikToks or whatever, pop them up on YouTube as well. YouTube's the second biggest search engine. So if you're putting that content, if you're making it already, put it on YouTube. In the description, put your link or your discount code to the thing that you're recommending. Obviously, it's going to be stronger if you're creating content that's specifically around that product and you're mentioning the fact that the link is in the description. So, you know, we've seen the videos where they're, you know, check the link below for 15% off. Like we do, you don't have to do it in a cheesy, horrible way, but letting people know that it's there will help them find it. Otherwise, most of us probably don't read the descriptions under the YouTube videos that we watch. So just helpful to mention it. If you've got a podcast, again, where relevant, you could be bringing in these products that you are an affiliate with. So probably not going to recommend the same product every time unless it helps with everything that you ever talk about on your podcast. But if there's something specific that you're talking about, I don't know, maybe you're doing a podcast about recall, and within that you want to talk about a specific long line that can help because it's light and not too heavy or whatever, or a specific chaser toy that you find really effective and how you use it. It's just kind of being cognizant of like, oh yeah, that would be a good opportunity to also mention, by the way, guys, I can offer you guys 15% off. These are the ones that I recommend. I'll put the link in the show notes and then just put the link below. And finally, you could create a lead magnet plus email sequence related to your service and product. So let's explain what some of those words mean. So a lead magnet is a free thing that you give away essentially to grow your email list, to attract people so that you can maintain a relationship with them beyond social media and hopefully nurture that relationship. So lead magnets can be anything from, you know, a checklist to a free download to a webinar to something like this. Thank you for joining my email list. These are lead magnets, and then what you can attach with that are an email sequence. So somebody downloads the thing, they get the thing, and then you can send emails afterwards, right? So how could this relate to an affiliate product? Say you work with puppies. I'm going to stick with my same example because my brain's not working. You work with puppies and you're going to do a lead magnet about puppy biting. So within that lead magnet, I don't know, maybe it would be like 5 ways to, you know, get relief from your puppy biting. And within that, one of those ways might relate to one of the products that you recommend. You put the link within it. You could then also reference it again in the email sequence that follows. This ties back to, right, what we said at the beginning, making sure that the products that you're choosing to, the brands that you're choosing to partner with and the products that you're choosing to recommend naturally tie into the people that you're working with. Then it's not going to be an uphill struggle to try and find connections between them. It's going to be very natural and easy for you to talk about them. Just a quick note on like lead, I'm talking about lots of different things here, lead magnets, email marketing, and some of that might be unfamiliar to you. So I just want to let you know that I do have a course called Underdogs Unleashed, which covers all of this stuff. It's a pay what you can course. You can literally buy it for a tenner. And it's got a stack of masterclasses that kind of go through each of these individual things in their own merit and kind of give you action tasks to make it actionable so you can actually do them afterwards. So I'll share links to that stuff afterwards. I just wanted to mention it. If you're feeling overwhelmed and like it's something you're interested in, there is accessible information available to help you with that. All right, let's move on. Social media is kind of the one that most of us do quite naturally, right? Whether we would like, I don't do blogs, I don't do videos, I don't do reels, like most of us have to do social media. I am not a social media expert, but Christy Atkinson is a social media expert from Pause on Social. She helps me manage Underdogs Unite, which is our membership, and she has very generously said that I can share a little video with you guys afterwards. So I'll email, I didn't want to overload this. I'll share a little 15-20 minute video with some helpful tips for social media with you guys afterwards. In her absence, I will do my best to give you some tips for social media. So different kinds of social media content we can create. So you can do reels, so short videos, TikToks, YouTube shorts, stories. Stories are the ones that you share for 24 hours. They disappear, but remember that they are places that you can add links. You can share graphics, infographics, photos of you using products or products themselves. Lots of different ways. We're not all comfortable doing the same ways of marketing. So this ties back to the beginning. Yeah, we're cherry picking. You don't need to do email marketing, lead magnets, blogs, video content. Well, now I need to launch a podcast. Like, no, you don't have to do any of these things. Which ones are the things that you naturally can do more easily than others? Lean into those. I just wanted to kind of give some options. If you're somebody who doesn't, I don't want to do videos. I don't like writing really long posts. Actually, yeah, I could jump into Canva and create an infographic. Or actually, sometimes the brands that you partner with provide you with this stuff. Are you logging into the portals that they've given you? Have they got already a stack of graphics, infographics, but you've forgotten about them? You signed up, you logged in once, you looked at it, you never looked again. Some of these brands are actually doing this work for you. They're giving it to you. You've just got to share it. So try and log in once in a while and check out what's in there so that you can utilize it to help you promote the affiliate programs that you've signed up for. I want to touch a little bit on types of video content, because I think one of the ways it can be really effective, particularly for affiliate marketing, is the kind of down the lens. That's just you talking to a camera. It could be on a dog walk, could be out with your dog walking dogs. It could be you sat in your kitchen. Doesn't really matter where you are, talking about a specific problem and how that product can help. So again, we go back to those, you've done your brainstorm list relevant to the brands that you partner with, and you pick a topic. Okay, all right, do you know what? I'm going to talk about separation anxiety today. I'm going to do a 60, 90-second video about separation anxiety. I'm going to give a quick tip, or I'm going to talk about how this product can help, how to use it, tell people I've got 15% off, and tell them the link is in my bio, in my description, depending on where I'm sharing it. So that's one kind of content that you could do. You could also do demo stuff, right? So if you're, either using treats or accessories or toys, you can actually show them in action. That might be you teaching something or doing something with them. It might be people using them in class or in one-to-one. So we can demo using the product and explain how it helps or how people can use it. We could teach fun things, little how-to type content, and include the products. It's that, when you watch telly and they're like, product placement is in action. We don't say those specific words, but like that, just people seeing those products and then they've seen them in action. And then next week, maybe you say to yourself, once a month, I'm going to do an actual promotion post where I share the link and all the rest of it. But, having those products visible or mentioning them in other places just kind of builds that brand awareness and that product awareness of the thing as a solution. Ideally, you'll put the link in as well. But if that feels uncomfortable, just, seed a bit of interest by noticing where you're using those products in daily life, really. It's like you're likely using the stuff that you're recommending. Just talk about it. And if you hate making video content, or particularly appearing in video content, there's a cheat for making reels, that is to use a really short clip of, content. That could be a tree blowing in the wind, or it could be a dog running in the distance. And, you can download this stuff from Canva for free. Don't even have to film your own. And you just put a short hook over it. I'm going to explain hook in a minute. And then you put your normal caption in the bottom, but that reel could boost your visibility. So the bonus content that I'm going to share with you is about that hook, line, and sinker. So I've given you the pain, agitate, solution, outcome, which is one formula you can use. Christy from Pause on Social spoke to us in our membership about hook, line, and sinker, which is another way that you can structure your social media posts. Like I say, that's a 20-minute video. I'll send you guys the link along with the replay and the workbook and all the other bits afterwards. You've got it to refer back to. You don't have to use either of those things. You can write your post in your own voice, the normal way that you speak or the normal way that you communicate. Me giving you those formulas, or Christy sharing that formula, is not that there's a right or a wrong way to do it. The aim of me sharing those is that if you get stuck and you find those things difficult, they're a jumping off point. The main thing for you to take away is it's that being specific about who you're talking to and in what relation you're recommending this product, or what specific product and why. Even if that product helps in a host of ways, one post, one email, whatever your chosen method of communication is, one topic, it's going to hit much harder. It's going to be much stronger communication for people to understand whether it's for them or not. And in turn, I would expect that therefore your affiliate commission will increase, because your rewards, depending on what you're promoting. just because you're speaking to the right people and explaining more clearly how the product can help them. Oh, nearly finished. Cool. Key takeaways. Be specific. We want to think about who's it for, why do they need it, what's the outcome. Ideally recommend either a specific product or a collection of products so that we're not sending people to a homepage where they get overwhelmed and bounce away because it's too hard. Consider using either the PASO formula or the hook, line, and sinker formula that I'll share with you afterwards. Remember to share your code or your URL. We're only going to be, going back to how does it work. We need to actually be making sure, making it easy for people to use our referral links. So following up with people after classes or one-to-ones, or, making sure we've got that link in bio and telling people it's there, rather than letting them go off and Google it and find it themselves and you lose credit for the referrals that you've made. Links are not clickable in Instagram captions. Links are not clickable in Instagram captions. Super easy way is for you to, if you do nothing else, share the brand's blog posts and use that unique, use your unique URL, jump on the back of their own content, share it with your audience. And, if that person comes back and buys within whatever that cookie period is, and like I say, for some of those brands, it's actually a really big window, you'll be clocking up that those referrals a lot more than you have been to date, potentially. Finally, link liberally. I think we'd like start this. Sometimes it feels like, putting too many links, it feels very pushy. It's not. People just skip over them. But you know what the people don't do? They don't go hunting for links. So like if you're sending emails, it's okay to put like more than one link to the same thing, because some people need more information before they take action. Some people are more impulsive. Some people are already persuaded very early on. So don't be afraid of linking too much. People just swipe over them, like just scroll over them if they're not interested. You're not offending anybody or being pushy. The more you share your links, the better your chances of making sales. Joining an affiliate program is a bit like joining a gym, right? I can't tell you how many times I've joined the gym, paid the membership, and nothing happened. And nothing happened because I didn't go. I never went, I just paid the membership. And it's the same being an affiliate, right? Like you can join the program, you can collect all the links. I've got in my own inbox, I've got a lovely little folder full of affiliate links. Done very, very little with. And the ones that I have taken action with have made me money. The ones that I haven't, guess what? Haven't made me any money. And that's because I haven't really taken any action with them. All right, that is the end of presentation, which means that I can breathe. I did it. I think I didn't forget anything. And now I am here to answer any questions that you have, either related to things that I've covered, or things that I have missed and didn't realize I missed, or anything else really. While we're here, you have me, take advantage. You don't have to use the chat, by the way. I much prefer, you can use the chat if you don't like talking. But if you have questions, I am happy for you to just unmute and talk to me.
I have a question. Oh, go on, Tom, you go first.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for that. It was very interesting, very useful.
Oh, good.
Because I'm rubbish at marketing of any sort, so any sort of help is useful.
Yes.
You're talking about things like WhatsApp and email signatures and things like that. Is there a way within WhatsApp of putting an email signature in that's got these links in, or do you have to put them in?
No. So when I talk about WhatsApp, I mean more kind of following up with people.
Yeah.
Are you a dog trainer?
I'm a dog photographer mainly, but I
Okay.
do some dog training as well.
Okay, fine. So I would kind of, people do use WhatsApp business for marketing. I am not comfortable with that yet. I would use WhatsApp more as a like a one-to-one communication with somebody. So if you've had a conversation with somebody, or you just think actually this would be a really good fit for that person who's got this specific problem or has this specific desire, then like send them a link, whether that's WhatsApp, text message, email, whatever your normal mode of communication with them is. I just think that we can often, it's funny, isn't it? Because we get into such a like marketing head that we forget about just talking to people individually. and like following up with people after we've spoken. It's like,
I'm the other way around. I talk to
are
people
you?
individually, but forget to do the marketing bit.
Okay, well that's quite refreshing, to be honest.
Doesn't make any money though.
Does the marketing bit feel any easier after today, or any less?
I think it might do. It sort of opened my mind to some ideas I can try.
Yeah,
One of the other things is I have ADHD, so
me
when I'm
too.
doing a blog post, I tend to just do a complete info dump of whatever's
Yeah,
in my head.
yeah.
And I'm thinking, from hearing what you're saying, it would be much better to do a blog post on this particular issue. This is what I would recommend to deal with it, rather than say, this month I've done this, and this.
So there's different ways to blog, actually. I'm a firm believer that there isn't a right or a wrong way of doing things. I also have ADHD and go hyper focused, and I want to tell you absolutely bloody everything about the thing. I wouldn't be doing you any favors if I didn't tell you absolutely every specific detail. And some people write blogs that are much shorter and much lighter and much more digestible. I don't think that there's a right and a wrong way, because people are all different. Your audience and the people that you attract might be the people that actually really appreciate the detail. Like, I actually find it incredible, because of my personality, find it incredibly frustrating when I land on a blog and it's like 300 words long and it's covered the very, very basics, and I'm like, dig back to Google, scroll,
Yeah.
trying to find that really in-depth piece, because that's how my brain works. Whereas somebody else,
So you'll be going down the same rabbit holes as me.
yeah, essentially. And so that you can do both. You can do whatever is your way of communicating. I think the thing that makes marketing feel hard is that stuff, thinking that there's a right or a wrong way to do it. When you shift into thinking, okay, actually this is communication, and how do I communicate with people in real life? Okay, I'm just going to do that digitally. I'm going to write my emails the way that I speak to people in real life. I'm going to write my social media posts that way. And if I'm going to write a blog, I'm going to do it that way too. If you want to write blogs that attract traffic from Google, you do need to learn a little bit about how to do that. You can still write them your way, but there's like a process that you need to do at the beginning that will help you identify essentially what are people searching for, what are the questions they've got, and then you can use
I've
that.
done a lot of website development, so I know about
Okay,
SEO.
fine. But you can do that piece first, right? And then you can just write the blogs as you see fit, as long as you're answering the questions that people have got. We just want to make sure that we're thinking about, well, who is it that I want to help? What questions do they have? How can I help them best? How we write the content, like I've shared formulas because they can help you if you get stuck, but I really want to be clear that I don't think that you can't do things wrong. And the more that we think we can do it wrong, the more we're like, I can't do marketing because I'll get it wrong. And everybody will point at me and say I'm bad at it, and so I just won't do any marketing. And actually then people aren't finding you and they don't know how you can help them, and then you're like, I'm not making any bloody money.
I think a part of it as well is something you mentioned, because not just with affiliate marketing, which I've tried in the past and never really got anywhere with, but just marketing in general, is that you try something, you get nothing back at all, and you think, well, why do I bother? And then you stop, and then that's not going to work either. So
no, I
you've
think
got to carry on with it, I think. But it's just finding your voice and your audience, I guess.
yeah, it is. And it's that, it's boring words, and it's that consistency. It's, things take time. I always talk about that snowball effect, right? So like when I first started writing blogs, that was my chosen way of marketing, because I love writing and I love getting into the details. And when I first started writing them, they were a bit pants and they didn't get any traction. Nobody bloody read them. I had to keep going to get better at it. Eventually they start, sometimes they got shared. I learned better at how to do SEO, and then people actually started finding them and reading the blogs that I wrote. And it's built and built over time, right? You weren't instantly great at taking photos, right? Or training or whatever it is that you do. Like, we have to continue doing it. We're only likely to stick at something if we don't absolutely hate it. And so that's why I'm like, actually the methods that you choose are less, like, they all work. All of these different marketing methods can work. There isn't one that's going to trump everything else. What's going to trump everything else is finding the one that you can actually sustain doing. at whatever your pace is. Like when I say consistent, that doesn't mean that you have to be creating stuff every day, like whatever your natural pace is going to be, that comes easy to you, or at least easier than the others, so that you can stick with it long enough that it's got a chance to gain any traction. Part of that is paying attention to how people respond, but sometimes at the beginning, people take a long time to engage with our content. I spoke on Facebook for like 2 years before anybody other than my mum and my mates engaged with my content, but people still were finding me though.
Yeah.
People would contact me and they'd be like, "Oh, I've followed you for, you know, a year."
But they've never reached out in that time at all.
I never liked a thing. All I needed was a like of validation.
Affirmation.
I never got it. But they were there soaking it up. You can't always see it. You can't always see it. So you kind of just got to trust in the process. And I think the more you can kind of speak authentically, write authentically, remove those barriers, the easier it will be when, you know, inevitably you have to post into the ether, you're getting no feedback back. Like at least creating that content wasn't so bloody painstaking. It takes away some of the sting of, you know, that process that we kind of have to go to it through of slowly building an audience.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Nikki, you had a
yeah, it's so I am an affiliate for quite a few businesses, and they all fit stuff I use, stuff I love, stuff I'm happy to talk about, blah blah blah. I'm not consistent about posting about them at all, so unsurprisingly I don't make many sales from it. The two things that I haven't done, like I have a shop on my website, which is most of where the affiliate stuff is. What I don't have is anything on my email signature, and I don't have a banner on my home web page, and I'm struggling to think about how I can handle that when there's quite a few of them. So even if I picked some of them, so I'm trying to think about how.
I think if you've got a recommended page, you don't necessarily have to. And it, like, you know, even with the email signature thing, it's important to think about like your main business too. So if you want to be, you know, your main things that you want to push are your book and your membership and your podcast, then you're not going to use up
that's not the right place to do it.
Real estate space for an affiliate, but other people might not have other things necessarily digitally that they want to promote there. They could put those links on. I think for you, you've got the shop already, which is great. I bought that amazing ear spray. It's incredible. That probiotic ear spray is so good. Anyways, you've got the shop, so that's easy to refer people to.
Yeah.
You've got your podcast, so again, like if you can kind of have in your mind's eye now when you're doing recordings, if relevant, so just think, but you know, before you record it, are there any products that I'm an affiliate for that I could naturally mention here that makes sense to what I'm talking about? And put them in the show notes. Same with your YouTube content. And then I think it would be within your blogs, isn't it? And your email marketing. You do your email news. I think for you, it would be more like your, you know, you do your weekly email to your list. Sometimes there might be, and it's not about spamming it, right? It's not like every week I'm going to put a different affiliate link in, but just where it's relevant, or where one week you're like, I don't know what to bloody write about. Okay, actually, let me pick one of the affiliate things, or to reverse it, I'll go the other way. What affiliate things have I got? What angle could I take this from? What pain point? And I'll, you know, do it that way rather than, for you, I don't think I would put it on the email signature. Just because it's more important to get people to find your book and your podcast and your membership, I think, for you.
But I like the idea. I mean, I have the shop, but there's a lot of stuff in the shop, and I quite like the idea of a recommended brands page, because then I could just pick the key ones. And I was thinking that it could be their logo, a little bit of blurb, and like just like a couple of key products for each one. So they could just be that, because the shop has got, I don't know, maybe 100 products in it now.
Exactly. Your shop's huge.
So I could do a kind of a high level version of that. So
I've seen really good pages. So it's, you know, it's just a simple page. It's usually an image on the left of the product, or you know, the partner affiliate badge, whatever. Short description on the right, like a paragraph, right? It doesn't need to be a War and Peace on it. And that links over.
Someone like, I don't know, my anxious dog or something like that.
Exactly. Just my anxious dog on there, and all your other partner links on there, and again, like people that don't want to visit that page won't visit that page. It's not going to do any damage to have it up, is it? Like it's not doing any harm. It's only going to help.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. Let me check the. Well, that's good. The chat didn't go mad. Something coming on now. Oh my god, never going to be able to get through this. All right. Stephanie says, "Thank you so much. Great presentation. Quick question about adding links to your web page. I created a dedicated page, a la Sue recommends. What do we need to add in terms of disclaimers, and into how much detail would you go regarding problems, products? Thank you." Okay, so yeah, I haven't actually touched on disclaimers. I started to write a slide about the legalities of it, and I decided that actually I probably shouldn't talk about it because I'm not a legal expert. Legally, I'm going to go as far as this with a disclaimer of my own that I'm not taking responsibility for whether you're legally.
Oh, it's okay. They don't want to get you into trouble or anything.
Legally, you should declare when you're using an affiliate link. So as a fly, you should declare it. So that might be that, you know, you put on the bottom of your website or on that specific page just a short line that says something like, you know, these are products that I genuinely recommend. It doesn't cost you any extra, but I do get a small kickback or commission or whatever if you buy through these links. Just something like that. And
Okay, cool.
make
Perfect.
stuff over emails, you know, you can just be open about the fact that it's an affiliate link. Legally, we have to declare it. Generally, your people won't mind because it's not.
No, everyone does it anyways.
Yeah, do you know what I would add to that? Like, I used to be a bit like, oh God, I don't know what I say. But actually now I find people like the idea of it. Like if they've bought into you, if it's something they're going to buy anyway,
They'd rather buy it for you, yeah.
Yeah. So actually it's a good thing to talk about. Like, don't have to feel like, oh, I need to put it down the bottom. Like, as you say, like I make money from this. It helps me pay my bills. Thanks very much.
That ear spray, that I went to buy, the probiotic ear spray for my dog. I had we'd spoken about it in a call, right? And I could have just gone and Googled the thing. I did Google it to go and read about it, and I said, "Oh no, Nikki said she's got an affiliate link." I went searching for it on your website because I'm like, why am I going to buy it directly from the brand? I'm going to buy it directly from Nikki so she can get the. So yeah, exactly. People that already, you know, your fans, the people that love you, like you, support you, will be happy to buy using your links. And
where do you stand if you've recommended something through an affiliate link, and then one of the people who've bought it through your link come back to you and say, well, I tried it, it didn't work?
I mean, where do you stand with that? I don't know. What can you, I mean,
there's only so much you can do, I suppose.
There's not really anything. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Me.
I mean, I guess, where would you stand with that? So I guess that comes back to having a responsibility in our marketing to being honest about outcomes. So when I talk about that pain, agitate, solution, outcome, it being realistic about what we're saying things can do. So not over promising in order to win sales. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example of something that somebody might buy that they say. I mean, I suppose you might recommend a toy.
Well, I mean, we were talking about the pet remedy stuff earlier. If I recommended pet remedy to someone who's got a problem with a dog, who's got problems in the car, as you were talking about in your example, which ironically my dog does.
Yeah, mine too. This feels very relatable.
If I was using it and it didn't help in any way, if I'd gone through an affiliate link, I might well go back to that person and say, you recommended this, but it hasn't helped in the slightest.
Yeah, so I guess maybe there's
So I mean, I guess you need to put something in to say, you know, link into the facts on the products page or something or something.
Yeah,
like
again, and I mean, it also depends on the brands that you're partnering with, because some of them will have their own policies in terms of unhappy customers that should still be applicable to people that bought through affiliate links.
I think also if you're talking about it from a personal perspective, like I will talk about things that have worked for Bodhi, or I will talk about things that have worked for my clients' dogs. That doesn't mean it's going to work for every.
For all of them.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. I think it's important not to overpromise. But equally, you know, anything we buy, it's just, It's the same if you're looking at reviews, right? I paid 50 quid for a supplement because the reviews on Trustpilot were so amazing. It did not do for me what it said it was going to do. Like, can I blame the reviews? Those people had that experience. It's
But that little man in India was paid a fortune to write that review.
I know. Why did you buy those? Ironically, that one actually had, I could return it within X number of days and get I didn't even have to return it. I could complain and get my money back, and I didn't. Because it's just another thing to remember to do, isn't it? But actually that money back guarantee actually encouraged me to spend 50. I wouldn't normally spend £50 on a supplement. I was like, oh, well, if it doesn't work, it's got really good reviews. And if it doesn't work, it's okay because I can request a refund, only I haven't remembered to do so. There we go. Any other questions or things that people would like to talk about while we're here?
Yeah, sorry, I have to have my camera off. Sorry
okay.
to just not lose the connection. I think like the other part was like, so if we have like this recommended page, like how much detail would you go onto, like, you know, like
Yes,
this
sorry, I missed that bit.
like you know, if you just have a simple page where you can link into whatever other review contents, etc. But I was just wondering how much detail you would go onto that dedicated page, like regarding into problems, products, or would you just rather keep it broad?
I would generally keep it broad, depending on your audience. So if you say you're a dog trainer and you work quite generically with, and I don't mean that offensively, but like you haven't niched into something specific, so you work with quite a broad range of people with a broad range of problems, I would keep that recommended page very loose, like we've just discussed. So it would be like an introduction to the brand and what they're about. Keep those pain point stuff more for social media posts or blogs or emails. Have that page because you don't want that page to be too full of too much information. Could be that you in the future wanted to write blogs about the different pain points and you could link briefly to them there. I would keep it quite simple in that regard. However, on the flip side, if you were somebody who niched into something very specific, and so actually those brands had specific products that you recommended over everything else for specific problems, then that page might look more like, you know, here's the problem, here's the product. Yeah. So on the left, the problem, or the heading is the problem, and here are the things that I would recommend linking to those specific products. So if that was, you know, I don't know, trying to think of examples off the top of, if you niched into separation anxiety.
But I can give you actually an example. So I think
like,
so I specialize in, I'm very niche down, but I'm very broad in what I do. So I specialize in rescue dogs and bully breeds. So and canine enrichment. So obviously, like if I recommend a muzzle, then the XL bully band is my go-to. But for example, like with others, I would be more broad, like for toys, etc. So would it be okay to basically just like, you know, have a like very, because not all dogs need muzzles, obviously, but my bully clients do need them, of course. To have it just like, you know, basically depending on the brand we recommend. Do you think this is okay to do? So be a bit more broad in like some areas, but then more specific in others.
I think I would, well, I wouldn't, even with the muzzles, I wouldn't be that split because not just XL bullies need muzzles, right? Like if you're partnered with
of course.
brand, I think even though you're niche, you're right, like you're niche, but you're also quite broad. I would just have that simple page that has brand, brief intro to what it is, and link over, and save the more specific content for social media posts, videos, that kind of stuff. Because people liking on that page just want to be able to skim, really.
Yeah, no, makes total sense. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming. Anything else? You're welcome. Connecting Circles. I don't know what your actual name is, but you're very welcome. I'm glad. I hope it was helpful this evening. I'm happy to stick around and answer any other questions.
Thank you so much. Great presentation. Super helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I'm happy to stick around if anybody has anything else they'd like to talk about. Otherwise, I will follow up with Christie's hook, line and sinker little video and the replay, and I've given you the workbook here, but I'll send that link through again so that you've got everything in one place. Hopefully you've got some little things that you can take away. Like I say, you don't need to try and do all of them, but hopefully, I mean, if nothing else, it's just giving you a little boost of your mojo that you had when you initially signed up for these affiliate programs before you forgot all about them and got on with all the zillion other things that you have to do as a small business owner. But, you know, if you can just kind of, it was just once a month, okay, I'm going to do a social post about one of my affiliate programs every month on socials, and that's it. And I'm going to grab one blog from their website that they already wrote, and I'm going to share that using my unique link, like probably more than you're doing at the moment. And I don't mean that offensively, not because you don't intend to, just because you're already doing so many bloody things. And so if you just do those two things, it's going to be better, right? And not too hard, I hope. All right, lovely. Thank you very much for coming. Good luck with your affiliate action taking, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.